Hello, my name is Jared Vail. I'm doing a TED Talks presentation. This is my analysis of 3 separate TED Talks chosen based on my personal preference. My first TED Talk speaker is Tony Fadell. The first secret of design is noticing. Tony begins by using a reference from the movie The Blues Brothers. Tony explains that the more often something happens in our everyday lives, the less we tend to notice it. He calls this habituation. He has a very captivating presence, and his reverent but intense tone of voice is very powerful. He humbly explains how being observant and seeing the invisible problem is the first stage of a design. He explains that if we are able to simultaneously look broader and also look closer, it gives room for a new way of functionality. I enjoyed this talk very much. He was very appealing in his delivery and kept the audience on the edge of their seats. He was able to draw me in to care on a personal level by encouraging me to think outside the box and resolve issues of all aspects by changing my mindset and perspective. Tony reminds us to think younger and inspires us to constantly be aware of new design opportunities all around us every day. My second TED Talk speaker is David Kelly. How to build your creative confidence. In this talk, I noticed right away that his delivery was not as passionate or as intense as the other talks I had watched. However, I felt the content and information was exceptionally potent and explored from all angles through research and personal experience in his story. I was able to relate to this talk in many different ways and thought that his views on the creative process were outstanding. The fact that he gives examples of a complete shifting of perspective to overcome adversity is amazing. By approaching obstacles with creative confidence and using our imagination, we are able to create a better quality of life. He uses minimal visuals but paints a vivid picture with words in our mind. His personal experience and creative journey gave me empathy and put a great deal of value to his message. His star moment to me is when he emphasizes self-efficacy as the power to change the world. My third TED Talk speaker is Diana Nyad, presenting Never Ever Give Up. Diana basically tells an epic story in this talk, and that is what the majority of her presentation consists of. She starts off describing a seemingly impossible feat swimming from Cuba to Florida. Facing countless dangers and life-or-death obstacles, not to mention she has already tried and failed 4 times. Diana uses humor to create a comfortable atmosphere for her audience. She downplays her adventure with surprising humility, giving us a feeling that our problems are nothing compared to this. She takes the audience through heartache and brings them to a low point of despair before snapping back to a profound instinct to succeed. It all boiled down to survive and find a way. The story keeps the audience wanting to know what happens next. She pushes herself so far beyond the breaking point that deep thought about life and death begin to surface as she swims. The first and foremost of these thoughts being never ever give up. It gave me a strong sense of obligation to achieve my goals, and I couldn't have received these emotions by reading this alone. Next, I'll be describing 10 qualities, techniques, and presenting skills from all of the presentations that stood out to me. 10. All of the speakers use humor to relax their audience. 9. Each speaker had an epic story related to the topic they were presenting to enhance their message. 8. The passion each speaker had for the subject they were presenting was evident in the tone of their voice. 7. In Tony's talk, he starts and finishes with the same sentence and visual. 6. All the presenters were able to deliver a steady flow of information from several angles to expertly convey the message they wanted. 5. Each one was able to gain empathy from me by using personal experience and real people as examples. 4. They were all very different, but they all had the attention of the audience focused on them by expressing points of such importance. 3. They all had star moments when the message they were giving reached a peak level of performance. 2. Each speaker had a different approach to the visual aspect of their presentation, but all were equally effective. 1. I was able to gain something that I didn't have before from each talk. The impact of their messages slightly changed my thought process and way of functioning.